Hi everybody, it's Honest John. Capitalism, socialism, and communism are competing economic theories. That's all they are. They're not religions. They're not theories of government. They are different ideas about economics. And as such, they're not either evil or good. That depends on how they are implemented and who's implemented. Now, for years, the champions of capitalism were just better people than the champions of communism. I mean, who would you rather have had lead you? FDR or Joe Stalin or Mao? The largest and best known communist governments were run by people who were pretty evil, and so communism became associated with evil. The real problem was autocratic, evil dictators. And let me tell you, there were plenty of capitalist countries that were run by evil people, and there still are. But nobody ever made a big deal about that. So, communism became associated with evil. Capitalism became associated with good. And somehow this kind of spread over into socialism. But if you look at governments that are mostly or partially socialist, they seem to treat their citizens just as well as we do. They don't seem that evil. Most of Europe, Canada, a lot of Asian nations have socialist aspects in their governments. And yet they hold elections and they respect the rights of their citizens as much as we do. And yet all somebody has to do is yell, "Oh, that's socialist." And a lot of people in America just go nuts and immediately assume that it's wrong and evil. And yet if you look at the facts, it's sometimes the opposite. Perfect example is healthcare. If your country has a socialist healthcare system and you get sick or injured, you get taken care of, rich or poor, doesn't matter. Now, rich people can always buy more stuff than poor people can, but a poor guy gets the same basic level of care as a rich guy who doesn't buy something extra. Now, that simply doesn't happen here in America. We did make an attempt. Well, we didn't. An attempt was made to reform our healthcare system. But as long as we leave it in the hands of capitalists, it's going to fail us. The profit motive is a bitch when it gets between you and death. The current state of our economy is due to unbridled capitalism. When all there is the profit motive, regular people get trampled. A profitable company will lay off workers not because they need to, but because they want to increase the profit margin. CEO pay is massive, while worker pay is stagnant. And corporations are now trying to control all of the levers of power. They're trying to eliminate any regulation that stands between regular people and the harm a giant corporation can do. And believe me, as our history will tell us, a giant can do a whole lot of harm, especially a giant corporation. See, here's the thing. Now that communism has been discredited and ignorance inspires fear of any form of socialism, we're now beginning to see just how evil capitalists can be. Thanks for listening.